Greetings, community. It's Kevin of NCBD Comics, and I'm here to bring you another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads for tomorrow, 9/5/22. I am telling you, this list, it was like, it was, it was, yeah, I caught a fish once this big. No, really, the list was rather long. I did whittle it down, and I'd say just relax. It's not going to be too bad. I will give you a little, little reviews on a couple of them. I did touch on a couple and kind of tell you my personal thoughts of what I personally like about them. So, starting off with, over at IDW, we have something that I truly enjoy, something that's been dear to my heart back in the day that when I first bought it, and that was TMNT. Now, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, hey, buddy. I appreciate you being here, man. I haven't seen you in a while. I got to visit your channel a lot more. I apologize for that. But over TMNT, the Saturday morning cartoon edition was something that I was buying for my younger brother. We were born 16 years apart, and I wanted to go ahead and bring him into the comic book world. I wanted to read something to him at an early age. Again, he was very young. And to me, TMNT was like the perfect thing. It was something that was on TV, and it was something that I can actually show him on a comic book, and something that he can relate to, that he can read. He is the one that actually got me back into comic books when my son was hanging out with him over at the comic book shop. And the reason my son was hanging out at the comic book shops is he was actually playing D&D. He wasn't reading comics. It was serendipitous that everything turned out this way. And this is not something I was trying to get into necessarily, because that's not what this show is about. But I want to give you a little back history on why this is one of my most anticipated reads, which, again, TMNT, Saturday Morning Cartoons, is back. Seriously, issue number 1 is going to be coming out tomorrow, and it's on my one, just like up there on one of my most anticipated reads for tomorrow. You know me, I get a lot of books. So moving on from TMNT, over from the IDW area, we're going to cruise on over to Garbage Pail Kids Origins, issue number 1. Now, this is a parody off of the Captain America kind of creation thing, but heading over onto playing on the atom bomb. I love this idea. Are you telling me that you're going to go ahead and give the Cap juice to Atom Bomb and he goes pa-boom? Makes sense, actually. So I got to see this. That's why it's on one of my most anticipated reads for tomorrow. Cruising over from there, we're going to go over to Superman. DC, the facsimile. Now, I can't afford the first appearance of Superman, let alone the first issue of Superman, let alone much of Superman other than trades. So, yeah, this is obviously one of my most anticipated reads. I've never read it. A lot of stories, origins, I've never read because I just felt odd if I couldn't read it in the comic book form. I don't know. I'm a weird guy. So moving over from Superman facsimile, we're going to cruise over to Hulk issue number 9. This is where we end up seeing Monolith. Now, I've been talking about this for a while. I think this is kind of a cool idea. A whole world of Hulks, by Hulks, for Hulks. All right, now I think I'm getting a little political. Getting out from over there at that issue number 9, we're going to go ahead and over to Edge of Spider-Verse issue number 5. Now, I almost did a little video on this, and the reason why is there's a spider that no one's talking about. Now, this spider was created by 2 of the individuals that ended up producing Spider-Verse, the actual movie. What I think is interesting about this is, again, no one has been talking about the identity of this individual. Now, I believe... No, I'm not going to spoil it. I haven't teased that way, because that's my wife. So I'm dying to read Edge of Spider-Verse issue number 5. This is like... I've been digging this whole thing, and the fact that they're releasing, which I'm going to cruise over to now, Spider-Man, issue number 1, written by Dan Slott, it works into from the Edge of Spider-Verse into the End of Spider-Verse, which cruises over to Dark Web. Now, I've known this for a while, and I actually did a couple of videos. If you want to check them out, cruise over in the past. I invite you to do so. And I even think I did it in a virtual reality version. So I more than invite you to check that out. But aside from all that self plugging, ouch, what I'm really getting out is this. This is really culminating into something really interesting. We're going to see some old characters, we're seeing some new characters, and it's amounting to the idea that the whole Spider Verse, as we loosely term all the time, but every character, brand new and old, is this some major impending doom. They always blow these things up, these major extravaganzas. We always know how it turned out. The cool thing is we are getting some cool new characters. And from that, we're actually seeing characters reappear that been gone way too long. Moving on from the Spider-Verse issue number 5 and Spider-Man issue number 1 that both come out on tomorrow, 9/5/22, which are on my most anticipated reads. We cruise over from there. We're going to head off over to a dark humor horror that I've been anticipating for a while. This one is called Sweetie Candy Vigilante. Now, this is from Dynamite. As I mentioned in the past, I've been trying to shed off books. As I mentioned in the past, that's not working out for me. What I've actually been doing is I've actually been picking up more publishing companies. What I've been finding is Opus that's been publishing a bunch of music that I listen to not only as a youth, but even presently, and some of the stuff that my son even listens to in these really cool horror anthology form. But what they've been doing is these various companies have been coming out with and experimenting with new writers, new artists, and just new stories in general. What does that mean for you and me in general? Well, one, I'm spending more money, but two, I'm actually getting more stories, and so are you. And the cool thing is we're getting this. Circling back, seriously, I'm doing that. Is Sweetie Candy Vigilante from Dynamite is a dark horror, humor horror thing. Uh, I don't want to give away too much, but it is a sultry based horror thing that you could kind of expect from this company. But the individual is a blood relative of Candyman. So I am looking forward to sink my teeth in this sweet story of blood and gore. Moving out from there, we cruise over to, well, you guessed it, the Blue Light Special. Now, my Blue Light Special for tonight is, well, I have yet to mention, yet again, I talked about this again in the past. The Dark Ride, which is my Blue Light Special, is a horror-based themed amusement park story that I've been looking for a long time. I mean, this must have been like 5 months that I've been thinking and talking about this. About the idea of a theme-based amusement park, or a place in which that you can work out, which most people think of the happiest place on earth. Well, go ahead and flip that 180, and that's exactly what Dark Ride is about. And we end up cruising with an individual that's going to take us on this journey of just a hell no one really wants to go through, but the pleasure for us is that we get to read it. And that's pretty much it for me, Entropy. And I appreciate you guys being here on my Blue Light Special, K-M.A.R T, for New Comic Book Day, 9/5/22. Take care. Stay well.